and welcome back to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Elizabeth, aka Foxgrove, and I make cozy gaming content centered around the Nintendo Switch, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and some PC setup inspiration sprinkled in here or there. Today we're going to be doing a little speed build on my Studio Ghibli inspired island, which is called Kohaku, and yes, it is Kohaku after the Kohaku River from the movie Spirited Away. I really wanted to do a railroad track inspired build from Spirited Away today, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Definitely let me know in the comments below what other Studio Ghibli / Japanese inspired builds you'd like to see me do on this island. But without further ado, let's just jump into the speed build. So I wanted to start off by showing you guys where we're going to be decorating today. So we're right behind the Spirited Away bathhouse, which we built in a previous speed build. If you missed that one, I'll go ahead and link it above for you. But I did want to create this area towards the back of the island because I wanted the benefit of having the water behind, and then I'm going to create a little area of terraforming where there will be water in front of this build as well, because in the movie there is a ton of water and the train station is definitely like pretty overgrown and pretty flooded. I guess flooded would be the better word to use rather than overgrown. I also wanted to play around with just kind of placing some of the bigger items before I really got into the meat of the build. So I'm just placing some retro transportation stops and the Azuma gazebos here just to kind of give me an idea of what's going to fit in the space and whether or not these items will play well together. I was trying to figure out how to make a building here using these two items, and eventually I decided to turn around the retro transportation stop. I love the way that the angle kind of creates the illusion of the roof there, and then one of the people watching the stream actually suggested that I change the customization of the Azuma gazebo to be this darker variant, and oh my goodness, if that was you that gave me that recommendation, thank you, because it seriously made this build so much better. I feel like the darker color blends in with the transportation stop so well, so thank you for that tip. And then I was kind of short on items, so you'll see that I go ahead and add in the last retro transportation stop a little bit later in the speed build. I wanted to place down some of the dirt pathing as well underneath the train tracks, although Nan had other ideas. So throughout this entire build, she is just hanging out here in the most ridiculous of places. I was gonna go get my net to give her a bonk, but she decided to stand up, so I just gave her a gentle nudge. But honestly, Nan is one of my favorite villagers of all time. I think she's absolutely adorable, and if you were watching the stream where we were working on this build, you'll know that I actually did end up hitting her with the net. Yeah, but you know what? I did it lovingly and I stand by it. I do feel like I owe Nan an apology for that though, because it did make her pretty angry. I don't know if we should build a happy home paradise house for her or something, but she was acting like she was afraid of me, and it made me feel absolutely terrible and like the horrible person that I am. And so yeah, Nan, Nan, you win this one. Nan 1, Foxgrove 0. But we do need to do something to apologize to her, so maybe we'll have a happy home paradise build for her coming soon. She is just the sweetest ever. I also wanted to incorporate the standee for Haku in here as well, and this is a great time for me to mention where my codes are at. So I've kind of stopped updating my card at this point. I feel like it's just been taking so much time to do that. So I've just started to save everything on my Pinterest, which is linked in the description box below. And so you can find all of the codes for this island under Ghibli Island on my Pinterest. If you happen to not find something that you're looking for, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to send it to you and or tell you where to find it. Yeah, never be shy with that. I'm always happy to help. And then for the area next to this build, I wanted to include some rustier items just to give this kind of like an abandoned feel. I love the way the corrugated iron fence looks here as well. It looks incredible with the more kind of rustic tones and all the rocks that are here. I'll be honest, this area by Haku's standee was so incredibly difficult to decorate. I wasn't sure what to put over there. I do end up just kind of throwing some items there towards the end of the build, but this honestly was such a difficult area to decorate because it's so small. I feel like typically I use terraforming and, I don't know, custom designs and flowers and weeds to fill space, and you really can't do that as much with this build, so it really posed a different challenge for me. And then I wanted to include the the street lamps just because I feel like the effect that it gives is so cool, especially right next to the railroad tracks themselves. I tried to get the placement right so that they were kind of in line with the building, and thank goodness for these cave items because it just makes this railroad track come to life. They are such an incredible item, and I honestly, I've never really used them before. I think this is my first build using them, so that's kind of funny. I also wanted this area to feel somewhat abandoned, so I wanted to use some like trash and cardboard boxes and items like that to give it more of a kind of abandoned feel. I don't know if that translates very well in the end, but you guys will have to let me know. I really didn't know what I was doing here. This is a perfect example of just kind of like throwing items down and hoping that it works out in the end. I do ultimately like how that park clock looks there. I feel like it gives a really cool effect to the area. And then I remembered to use the wheat items. Finally, I feel like they add such a cool effect and they fill up space so nicely. For this side over here, I was thinking about creating another sitting area, another place for people to wait for the train. So I went ahead and threw in this public bench. I love the little pops of green in this build. I also used the green phone booth, so I wanted to kind of incorporate another item that was that same kind of green color. I feel like the cohesiveness really helps to tie the whole build together, and then I couldn't procrastinate anymore. I needed to fill in this area over here. Ultimately, I decided to place down this custom designed path just because I feel like it breaks up the dirt path really nicely, but the dirt underneath it makes it feel like it's been really kind of worn and abandoned, and I'm so into that lately. I just think it looks so cool. And then I wanted to fill in the space using some rocks just to kind of blend in with the pine tree. I forgot what that was called for a second, and with the cave. I also remembered that I have these gorgeous standee codes. I think they're so cute, and it was the perfect one to incorporate into this build. Then I just wanted to add in a couple of finishing touches here, a little no face, and then I changed into my Chihiro costume. Alright, that is going to wrap up our speed build for the day. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you watched this far, definitely let me know in the comments below what you thought of it and what builds you'd like to see on this island in the future. Before we say goodbye, I want to thank our channel members. Thank you guys so much for supporting my work here on this channel. If you did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye!